So you didn't get it?
It was quite a blow. That witness possessed information about the Ortmeyer files, or their location.
Ortmeyer files?
Dr. Ortmeyer ran an underground cloning lab in Romania. We raided it as soon as we learned about it, but someone beat us to it. They'd ransacked the place, grabbed all the files, and killed everyone that worked there, even Ortmeyer. But that was the least of our concerns.
What do you mean?
We did find some papers later. Enough to prove that Dr. Ortmeyer created Mr. 47. No one else has successfully created a Class 1 human clone. Dr. Ortmeyer literally wrote the book.
And somebody stole it?
Not just somebody. Where's the nurse?
Whoa.
Sorry. I don't like being dependent. Something as simple as lighting a damn cigar, it's just... I apologize. Could you...
Of course. So, who stole the research?
We found a surveillance tape. It clearly showed Mr. 47 killing the guards and snapping poor Dr. Ortmeyer's neck.
So 47 wanted to build his own clones?
More likely, he wanted to sell the research to the highest bidder. It lit a fire under everyone's asses. We threw everything we had at him. It's all there.
And welcome back to part 4 of Hitman Blood Money, where today we're getting political. We've got to stop a political assassination attempt. We've got 3 targets today. We've got Angelina Mason, Raymond Kalinsky, and their ringleader Mark Pariah Jr. Angelina Mason is probably the easiest target and will be the first one we'll be going for once his little scene confirming we're good to go takes off. However, in this mission you do have a limited amount of time, but the time limit can be turned off if you just follow the dude in the red bird suit and knock him out whenever he stops in the corner, closed off corner space. However, you're given so much time to do so, we will be killing our first target and then coming back to find him. Where he goes is randomly chosen between 3 spots, and one of our targets, Raymond Kalinsky, is also randomly chosen from 3 different buildings. And that's what makes or breaks this mission for people. Because if the target goes in the right spot, if Raymond Kalinsky goes in a decent spot, this mission's a breeze. If he goes in an awkward spot, this mission's a pain in the ass. As in, it's 3 different spots he can show up in 3 different buildings, but you don't know what building he's going to start in until you can get a walkie-talkie off of one of the other targets, either Angelina or Mark Pariah Jr. And so, since our first target's right here, we can just... there we go. Yeah, if you drop the magic penny round the corner there, you're free to go around and immediately just take her out and no one will spot it, and her body's hidden, and you can pick up the walkie-talkie and find out where the other target is. Now the first target is done with, my second port of call is always to then go back for the dude in the red coat, or the red bird costume, because if we can take him, we can take his disguise and use it to go straight up to the face of Mark Pariah without raising suspicion. Here he is. Although he has 3 different paths he takes, there's only 2 locations you'll sort of end up in, both of which being alleyways between a bunch of buildings, meaning he'll be on his own when you go there. If he goes to his left, you'll go one down that alleyway. If he goes to his right, it doesn't matter which path he takes, both paths will lead to this alleyway. Which, since no one ever goes down here, you're free to quickly go over, don't bother wasting a sedative since he's sat put, knock him out. That briefcase we need to leave with in the mission for an extra bonus, so don't forget it's there. Once the game registers yes he is knocked out, take his costume, dump his body just in case. I'm pretty sure no one ever comes down here, but just as a safety precaution it's always good to hide a body if the option is right available to you. Take the diamonds briefcase that will be used to pay for it, and instead we're just going to go over to this little room over here and put it down over here. No one comes here, so no one will spot the briefcase and take it away. And it's secure for us without risking any harm towards anyone else. Because if the diamonds briefcase ends up in the hands of either Raymond or Mark, you'll have an extremely limited amount of time before they take out their target. But secondly, our second target is going to be Mark Pariah Jr., which he's always in this spot over here. What we're going to be doing is heading down this hallway down here, because although we're in a costume, the easiest way to get your cover blown and shot at in this mission is to go through the front door of any building. I am not kidding. Entering or leaving via a front door of any single building in here and being witnessed doing so will immediately blow your cover if you're in a disguise and will get you shot at even if you're not. It just doesn't matter. It's just how it works. You just get shot at. There's no other way around it. What we're waiting for is a set of dialogue events, because the game, the AI is set to recognize the red costume, and so to set up the dispute. To say, okay, leave the money on the desk and leave. But we don't have the briefcase with us, so it kind of messes with it a little bit. So we're using that to our advantage. So we're going to wait for his bodyguard to come in and tell us to put the money on the table. Then we're going to leave and wait outside for him to, well, take his sweet ass time coming back out. And as soon as he leaves, we're then going to go in and kill Mark, because we'll have just enough time to put his body away, so when the bodyguard comes back, the body is not discovered. However, the security guard does take his sweet ass time moving, so I'll split up the footage until he moves out. But as soon as he's out, you have the biggest chunk of time you're going to get to take out your target. Mark will go to one of two spots once he leaves his chair. Either the sofa behind us, which is the most ideal because he'll be closer to the box, or he'll go over here to stop for a smoke. If he goes over here to stop for a smoke, you need to move immediately, because you will only have so much time before that bodyguard comes back in after all. And it's the longer distance of a stretch of having to drag him. What doesn't help is that, as you saw there, the game took a second before it let me actually start dragging him. So this was actually pretty close-ish. Well, I was getting nervous that he was going to find the body, but thankfully we managed to just get away with it. But let's show you another alternative route of getting there. Back when we first killed our target Angelina Mason, the first one, there's a pole behind her that leads up to a rather ideal sniping nest. So if you bring your trusty sniper along, you're more than welcome to climb up here and snipe the bastard from afar. However, you'll almost be definitely giving away your silent assassin rating unless you're playing on easy or normal, where they give you a bit of grace to make one mistake and still get your silent assassin. If you're playing on expert professional, you absolutely won't get silent assassin doing this. But you just sit right here, turn towards the building, aim down the sights, and wait. That's odd. That looks like a sniper rifle over there. I hope he's not planning on aiming it at me. But like I said, you're risking giving away your silent assassin by doing that. But we just get enough time to squeeze out and run back down. Make sure you do not leave by the front door. That door there, don't go through it. Go back around, because you will be opened fire on immediately the moment you go out of it, despite the fact it's just a fucking front door. And we only have one target left, who can, like I said, appear in one of three locations. This room up the top, this room down the bottom, and this room on the side. Let me just put a little graph on the screen that shows you just how ideal which one is. The top one's your easiest, the one at the bottom is and on the one on the right is a pain in the dick. If he appears in the room in the if he appears in the building on the right, I'd heavily recommend just leaving and just restarting the mission to get in the reset somewhere else, because although it's definitely doable, it's the most annoying to do so. But anyway, if you head down the alleyway, if you go to the top building, you need to head down the alleyway, climb up the side wing and cross this pipe here, which will allow you into the back of the building. Like I said, entering the front door is completely prohibited, so we have to do this. Also worth mentioning, we could have changed back into our suit at this point, because everywhere we're going is trespassing for this costume as well, so it wouldn't matter beyond this point. The trespassing area is just beyond that door there, so make sure no one's looking, and then pick it when you're good to go. Now, upstairs is only the target, and only the target will go up there. So as long as you don't make a really loud racket to lure someone up, you're perfectly fine to be as brutal as you want up here. So I'm going to pick this lock here, get out my fibre wire, and immediately book it straight to him. Snap his neck, and there we go. All three of our targets are done. I take the walkie-talkie anyway, but you really don't need to. But now all three of our targets are dead. I'll take his Desert Eagle as well for funsies. If you leave through this side door here, there's an alternate exit you can take to get out. It's just over here and down the railings. Well, down this side piece. And then you're out and you're in the clear. Now all we need to do is change back into our suit for the Silent Assassin and collect the Diamonds briefcase to complete every objective. Our suit being right here. And the briefcase should be back where we left it, because no one goes here, so you just take it there and you're good to go. Now let's get out of here. As I accidentally put something in, nearly put something in the briefcase. Don't do that. And there we go, we're out of there. And that should be your Silent Assassin. There you go. Just under 7 minutes.
At least you saved the secretary.
Yes, and we found and killed one of Mr. 47's accomplices.
He wasn't alone?
No. They communicated by radio. What bothered us was the autopsy of the second assassin. He was a Class 2 clone.
Class 2?
Fully functioning human clones, accelerated to adulthood. But they tend to die within 18 months of maturity.
Tell me, just how widespread is human cloning?
We can't know for sure, but I'm sure we'll see thousands within a few years.
Why?
Because of your jackalope president! He wants it legalized! Imagine that. The most insidious weapon the world has ever seen, and he wants to legalize it.
But the public...
The public is an ass. Cloning is the ultimate weapon of mass destruction. It's a terrorist's wet dream.
But most Americans still support cloning, and...
Hopefully, this interview will change a few minds. Maybe it'd help if they knew it was 47 that killed Chad Bingham's son.
What?
We even had our best agent on the spot. We were ready.
Good to hear your voice again, 47. We got worried when you didn't get back to us.
It was just a little thing requiring my attention.
We've got an extremely delicate mission for you, if you're interested.
Mm-hmm. Always interested. Just send me the briefing.
You Better Watch Out is the name of this next mission, a Christmassy themed one where we got 2 targets and a videotape to retrieve. The first target is a young man by the name of Chad Bingham Jr., an arsehole who deserves his death for forcing his way onto a lady who didn't want it and then accidentally killing her in the fights that continued afterwards. He was recorded on video, however, and was being blackmailed by our other target, a porn tycoon, Lorne de Havilland, that we'll also be killing in this mission. As a first port of call, squeeze behind that guard there so you're not caught on camera. We won't be taking the camera footage in this mission, so we have to avoid any camera detection as we go. So our other objective will be to retrieve that videotape that was used to record Chad Bingham's unfortunate murder on a poor innocent young lady. And Lorne de Havilland, being the porn tycoon he is just on the list of people we gotta go. Your first port of call should be to squeeze over here to where the staff room is and hide behind this door. Eventually, after not that much time, which is why you need to be quick about it, a guard will walk in on his own. The only other person who will go down here is another person who will be taking out. So as soon as you get the chance and he walks in, close the door behind him, get right behind him and take him out of the sedative. Take his suit and get ready to move to the kitchen behind you because there's a drunken man dressed as Santa Claus who is going to stumble around, and he will actually stumble into this room if left unaddressed. So turn the light off so he doesn't spot him and get ready to head over. In his drunken state, he really won't be aware of anything you do, so feel free to take him out any way you see fit. I decided to knock him out to save the sedative. Then when you're good, you will need to hide this body. I say that, I don't actually know if you need to hide this body, I just choose to do so every time just in case. And and if anyone does actually check in this room, no one checks that little room. And we're going to take this sausage and we're going to put some sedative into it. You can put a sedative or a poison into it. It doesn't matter either way. It will not hurt our silent assassin for doing so. But I'm feeling nice, so I'm going to put a sedative in it. Then we've got a bit of a journey because we need to go over here, go outside, past our first target, Chad Bingham, sitting in that hot tub over there. Keep that in memory and head through this door over here. Up these little stairs and around the corner through these double doors, ignoring those 2 kissing couple over there because that woman is actually an assassin sent to kill us, and if you stick with her she will lure you into the room and try and kill you, so it's just straight up not worth doing. And head down here. Down here you're completely on your own and you can prepare a really brutal accidental murder of shooting the bottom of that, causing all of them to drop to their death. Alternatively, you can actually do this far sooner. If you get the legendary coin and bring it up to throw, it will catch everyone's attention. Doing so, throwing it in that corner, will make it so everyone's looking away from down here. If you then duck over here, go into first person and shoot up at the glass, you can kill your targets immediately and they will fall to their demise. All of their deaths are accidental regardless of which way you decide to do it, so all those innocents around the target will not affect your silent assassin. But either way, how you decide to do it is up to you. Heading back up the stairs, past the evil door, past this way, and going through this waterfall here and up the other side will eventually lead you to this secret room guarded by security. Even if you're not in the disguise, if you're quick enough, you can run straight past them and they'll forget about you. Waiting at the top of the lift, eventually our other target, followed by his dog, will go past. Our porn tycoon, Lorne de Havilland, is our second and last target, but instead of going for him, I'm still going to turn in here to retrieve that videotape that is of utmost importance that we take a part of our objective. Make sure you're not seen doing so because it will blow your cover and get you shot at. But as soon as no one's looking, take the videotape and head on your way. Now, to get a use out of that sausage that you saw us sedate earlier on, I went on past this gun to it. When you're in the Havilland's room, throw the sausage, don't just drop it, throw it, so then it will catch the dog's attention. The dog will run in and start eating the sedated sausage. And whilst he's doing that, I just decide to go and push our our second target off the cliff, killing him. The reason why you need to sedate or poison this dog is because if the dog witnesses what you're doing at all, it will actually count as a witness against you, despite being a dog. Like, what's he going to say? So I wait for him to pass out from the sedatives, and it is knocked out from being a witness. You can poison the dog, and even though you killed something that isn't a target, since it's an animal, not a person, the game doesn't care. So you can, in fact, there's nothing stopping you from not even bringing the sausage and just coming up, shooting and pushing the dude off the cliff and shooting the fucking dog. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, and you'll still get silent assassin. But either way, go back the way you came, back into the staff room and retrieve your suit. Make sure you're not spotted leaving, because you are trespassing. Although you should be safe because there's no cover to blow, it's still not worth getting shot at if you can help it. And then you just gotta wait for the lift. You're gonna completely block this dude from going in, though, just for the sake of saving time. And it's really hideous grin. Eventually, when the door opens for us, it takes a really long ass time. Look at that hideous grin behind us, by the way. Ugh. Eventually, when the lift finally comes up, the reason why I think it takes so long is because I think someone was in it and just sent it down as we got to it and called it. Yeah, that someone was coming up with it as well and sent it back down to the pier. Now, in the same way we came in, you need to kind of hug the wall and look to the ceiling to see where the camera is to make sure you're not spotted by it. Because getting caught in this last gasp is painful. To be this close to the end and then have your silent assassin spoiled, because the only way of dealing with it is to go get the videotape, which, to be fair, is also down here. You keep on going around the corner, but it's a pain in the ass to get to because it's heavily fortified. And just like that, you escape and you can get your silent assassin. Next time on Hitman Blood Money, we're journeying to the Mississippi for 2 missions that both kinda suck. I'm not a big fan of the Mississippi missions, but we'll deal with that next time. Until then, take care now.